What's happening, everybody? Hope message finds everybody well. Welcome back to the Built for Pressure podcast with me, Will Foden. Today is going to be a very short, sharp episode for two key reasons. One, I want to try and give you some three key action takeaways that you can take away this week. And two, because I've got an absolute mammoth amount of tasks that I need to clip before I head over to Saudi Arabia. What's happening in my world currently is we're running the Immersion event in Saudi, in Riyadh. If you're there and you would like to come, May 16th, 17th, shout out to anybody that's been involved. And if you're looking to actually immerse yourself with like-minded people, let us know. And then vice versa, a week later, I reload and I run my own immersive event with the Build for Pressure team down in Gloucester, as well as helping Kira with the Holistic High Performance guys and ladies. So, I'm putting my foot on the ball a second. There's a lot going on in my world and I'm trying to achieve so much from a professional standpoint. I've just come off a holiday. I've filled my cup up with being my boy. As you'll see my Instagram, he's running around like a nutter. And something that I see a lot of the time in the high performance space, in the leadership space, are people being questioned with this one thing. Are you priming yourself to perform? Most people see massive, huge feats of performance as a one-off piece of the puzzle. My argument to most is, are you setting yourself up to win? Or are you relying on pure brute force to get there? If you're looking at this on YouTube, you'll see the state of my face. I've had a few hairy moments where I've lost parts of my ears been ripped off once, for example. I've been in hairy moments where I've blunt force traumatized my way through to performing and pushing myself to my limit. Elite levels of performance, though, or defining it as finding excellence, is not around you using blunt force trauma. It's about you being able to adapt, overcome and navigate smoothly, and what that means is prepping yourself to win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you three key frames that I've worked on the last 10 days because my workload has been huge. We've been developing new trainings that we're going to be delivering across the board from the immersive standpoint, and inside Built for Pressure we're building out a whole new syllabus, a course that is going to be for those that want to learn more around energy, health, optimization and leveling up from a performance standpoint, and also delving deep into the mental performance side of things when it comes to my one-on-one clients. There's so many pieces of the puzzle going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you three things that I've learned, that I've decided that I feel are imperative, not only for me, but if you're listening to this, it should help you. Number one is the internal dialogue you're using for your situation. Most people who are in this situation, when they're getting overwhelmed, frustrated, burnt out, pissed off, annoyed, they're procrastinating, they're not delivering, etc., they use abusive language against themselves. They usually use finite language where this always happens to me. This stuff that's bottlenecked with a blunt end. I'm never good enough. I'm not good at this. I can't do this. Whereas if you flip that pervasive language and you change it to being situational, to being time dependent, and also not taking it personally, what you do is you change the frame from it happening to you choosing to do it. When you have choice, you release pressure. I am choosing currently to send myself into oblivion on purpose, because I believe extremity expands capacity, and something you'll see, we got a new website, we've had a whole new evolution in Build for Pressure from a delivery model. For you to find your edge, you have to live at the edge of your capacity, but to find that edge, you actually have to find your limit. I'm looking to find my limit. I want the immersion to change the game for the leadership performance space and the high performance delivery that comes with it. I want Built for Pressure to be the talisman when it comes down to the leadership performance space, and showing that people that are operating and they want to win across the board from their professionalism, their personal development and their physical athleticism, they have got a voice and they have got a connection, they have got a community. And what I've been finding, I've had some wicked feedback from this, is that people are resonating with this message, so please stay tuned. But I have chosen to put myself into the fire. From that position, what I can do now is I can actually navigate this. If you're asking me from a task management standpoint, I am traffic lighting my day. So things that need to be done, things that I want to get done, and things that I've got a time dependent piece, those are all categorized in green or yellow. If they are red, other way around, if they're red and yellow, red meaning they need to be done now, yellow means they can be done today. Green is the thing where they're great pieces of the puzzle, but they're evergreen. I could do those later. That's how I have found that process. So firstly, I found choice. Secondly, something that and another little frame that I've loved to use and that I feel is massively imperative for this is actually, I want pressure to perform. No pressure, no diamonds is not my saying. That's from Steve. I've read that in Stephen Kotler's book, The Art of Impossible. Sorry, it's a great book. That there for me totally reframed the game when it came down to me wanting to achieve anything. I deal with so many business owners and business leaders and those that are demanding more from their team who don't understand why they have this weird feeling when they're cruising and they're at altitude and they're doing really well that the wheels start to fall off. It's because actually you need pressure and friction for you to create pressure and friction. I am intentionally pushing myself to have a go. I want to be in the fire of delivery. I want to be in the fire of testing my capacity. I want to be in the fire of showing other people how they can break their limiting beliefs around themselves, athletically, emotionally, and spiritually, so they can level up and start climbing to the altitude that I aspire to be, instead of sinking down to societal norms. Most people run away from pressure. But if you're wired like me and you want to achieve massive things, shaking hands with pressure and recognizing that pressure is a privilege is integral for your development, your self-worth in that experience, and vice versa. At the end of all this, that's the one piece that you can take away from it. I had this piece with the puzzle when I ran the Ultra. The Ultra wasn't actually that hard. Not because it wasn't that hard, it was minging. But actually, I had primed myself to perform. I had spent months running, putting miles in my legs, doing all my strength sessions, getting my nutrition in. When I didn't want to do it, when I did want to do it, whenever I couldn't be bothered, whatever, that got done. Vice versa, I'm taking that pressure as a privilege and pushing it into my vocation. This is why it's so important, and why I think business leaders need to be physically robust and need to be in a position where they physically can have staying power and sustained performance across a long period of time when they're dealing with high pressure scenarios, because those are the ones that come out on top. I had a conversation yesterday around the uses of AI, and at the moment it is going off when it comes down to that. It's happening massively in the coaching space right now, and in every space really. There's so much fear, where actually the one thing that will always home true when it comes down to human performance is connection. I want to be part of my clients' journeys, not because I want to be a hero inside their journeys, but because I find it fascinating watching someone absolutely dominate. But same thing when it comes down to anything in the AI thing. It's a tool. It will be massively helpful, but don't let it be frightened of it, and vice versa. If it takes pressure off to leverage your magic and to leverage what you're... Content creation for me is a gateway for someone for a conversation. I like to connect with like-minded people, and for me to have a little wider scope, I need to be out there. I have now purchased one of these bad boys, which is now going to be on the move with me. We are now influenced. I need a Gymshark costume for this thing. But my point, for you to get to know me, I need to show you what's happening on a day-to-day basis. Not necessarily from and from how I operate, because that's what's going to bridge the gap between actually I'm just a normal person with an attitude and I really want to win in my realm, not against other people. So understanding that actually I need pressure is imperative. And lastly, last piece of the puzzle is, if you don't know when shit's hitting the fan, do you trust yourself? I have gone through multiple feats of physical performance where my back's against the wall. From having my leg snapped in half by a horse and coming back to play rugby 10 months later, ran an Ironman with one lung after 20k and still finished. Ultra marathons. I've been through the works when it comes down to, from a physical standpoint, is I can take pain and I know that I can deliver even when I'm under the hammer. I take that trust, and I trust my skills and the amount that I have fucking studied for this, that I can deliver on the day. Does that mean that I'm scared? Yes. Does that mean I have imposter syndrome? Yes. Does it still mean I question myself? Yes. Does that mean that actually I'm sat here literally battle planning and strategizing and being hyper vigilant on everything that could go wrong, but flipping that and trusting myself, knowing that what if it goes right? That there, if you're saying that out loud, is a huge mechanism for you to take and you to embody, because if you do that, I promise you, I guarantee you'll come out on top regardless. However ugly it is, however pretty it is, it doesn't matter. The name of the game is to beat... so many people use the term beat your clone. I think that's a wicked term for... Years ago, I dreamt about this. I dreamt about having an online coaching company that dealt with people who are chasing obscene goals. I dreamt years ago that I would be speaking internationally and people are actually coming to not only just to listen to me speak, but immerse themselves and connect and be with us for 2 days. How sick is that? And I'm no, I say this to everybody, I'm no freak. I'm a little white boy from Brentford who was lucky enough to have my parents make me dream big, and I'm chasing that with the vigilance of, if it was all to go wrong, I'll just go back to normal. But why not chase something insane? That for me is the frame that I trust myself, that I know that I can stand there, I can adapt and overcome even under pressure. So anyway, I digress. 10 minutes just to get this clipped and get this done. I'll report back from the immersion. If you like this episode or you're taking something from it, please connect with me. I want to start conversations with people from a position of you're not alone. And like I said, we have a community element being launched at the back end of Q2. We also have other pieces of the puzzle where we're going to start to bridge the gap between other people that are like us and vice versa. I'll then be reporting back live from the immersion, how it went, my lessons, and vice versa. If I can give you any solace from running events and stuff like that as a business, I'll show you. Anyway, I digress. Have a banging day, team. If you're in the UK, make sure you put your factor 100 on, because it is absolutely boiling.